Every little bit helps.
All right, welcome to our show this week. It's the 1st of February into our new year, 2013, and we're covering topics each week dealing with technology. So this is the Help Desk with Joe, and I have with me Joe McDonald. He and his wife own their own company here in Spencer, West Virginia, based around technology and business technology and private technology.
Yes.
And also are the producers and sponsors of this show. So each week we have our Help Desk session where Joe covers a topic based around technology and questions that people send to you and or issues that you have to deal with during your daily business,
right,
and so forth. So I was talking earlier, I really think the Help Desk really is a great name. But I'd like to do a show that's the Evening Joe, just because of your name. But anyway,
we can work on that.
We'll see. We'll see. So this week, a new topic. Tell me a little bit about what we're going to talk about.
Okay, this week, in the past we did a PC versus tablet scenario. Well, this week's topic we're covering desktop versus laptop.
Right, and if you're not familiar, we did the tablet, little netbook, laptop, and then
we did the
iPad,
then the Android tablet, yes.
So we had some comparisons.
Right.
And now you're ramping it up and going to a new comparison.
Right. In this comparison, and I get this question asked all the time, hey, I'm in the market of buying a new PC. Do I want a laptop or do I want a desktop?
Yep. And this is a tough one because a lot of people, I imagine, struggle with this. I know we do, so we have both. That should be your standard answer. Get both. I can order both for you. It's a great time to buy it. It's on sale now.
Yeah, well, the problem is I'm a salesman, but I guess I'm a salesman with ethics, if that's possible, so I don't know.
So we're talking about this week, a person comes to you and they say, I want a new computer. Help me choose between a laptop and a desk unit, and desktop unit, I guess. And so the differences, in some cases, are pretty obvious, in others, not so obvious. So
right.
For the average person out there that has that question, that's what we're going to cover this week. Talk to me a little bit about the main differences, and this can include like the pros and cons of each, and then general overview of what we're looking at.
Okay. Well, when it comes to desktops, pretty much on a desktop you're limited to where you're at. With a desktop, you have to have a dedicated spot to put the monitor, the mouse, the keyboard, and the tower itself.
Right.
So that's a con. With a laptop, you turn it on, you plug it in, you carry it, you go anywhere with it.
Yep, anywhere you want. So portability is really probably the biggest issue.
Right.
I know in our house we have our computer room, and that room has our desktop, or the PC unit, the tower,
right,
everything all in one at a desk. It's
right.
handy that way.
Right.
Okay. So the other option is the laptop with portability. Talk to me, and I know you got a list here. Let's go over some of the pros. Let's start with the desktop. Pros and cons of the desktop.
Well, the pros of the desktop is just sheer performance alone.
Right.
The laptops, don't get me wrong, laptops have good performance, but it all depends on what you want to use. If you're just your simple, all I do is shop online and Facebook and type up papers, either option works well.
Right.
But if you're a heavy gamer and those high graphics games, desktop without question.
Right. And if you want to do some video stuff, like your kids, any of that kind of stuff, lots of photos.
Right. Heavy video editing, stuff like that,
right.
Desktop, no questions asked.
Okay. And then when it comes, and I know this just from working with you and the needs that we have here at Patch, working on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. That's got to be one of the pros of a desktop.
Yeah, the upgradability. I mean, with a laptop, pretty much what you buy is what you have.
Right. You're stuck.
And, if you need a little higher performance video card, well, with the laptop, you're going to buy a new laptop.
Right.
Period. With the desktop, you buy the new card, you slap it in there, you run the software, you're back up and running.
And in the case, and we've had that with this show, in the case of upgrading our sound system for this show and the video capabilities, it was I watched you do it. It's as simple as popping the case off, putting in the new parts, put the case back on, you're good to go.
Right, and this is actually a situation, if you remember, we ran into when we tried to build the studio.
Yep.
Did we want to go laptop or did we want to go to the desktop?
Yep, and we had to actually make this decision. So that's a very important part when you go to look, as you said, determining what your needs are,
right,
and if you're going to upgrade or if you're going to use it for specific things. Okay, so some of the pros of the laptop, of course, you covered portability, taking it with you.
Less wires.
Yep.
With your desktop, you have just the power cord alone for that, and if your mouse and keyboard have a wire, you have a wire for those. Plus, you have a wire for your monitor and power for it. So, I mean, you're tangled up with wires.
And all the other stuff you're going to plug in, your printer and your Wi-Fi tower or anything like that. Most of them have wireless now, but,
Right, but you're still covered up in wires. With the laptop, you have the power cord. That's it.
Yep, so you're good to go. Okay, and then some cons of the laptop.
Well, the cons with the laptop is you're limited on upgrades. What you get out of the box is what you're stuck with.
Right.
I mean, you can upgrade the hard drive, get more storage. You can upgrade the RAM, get a little more speed. But as far as upgrading the video card, that's not going to happen.
Right. You're just out of room. It's a small. It's made to be portable, and,
right.
and that's the price you pay.
Right.
You're kind of stuck. Okay.
Right.
I know you got some other stuff.
And another con is it's more likely to be stolen.
Yeah.
And a lot of people go, what do you mean more likely to be stolen than a desktop? Well, if you're going to have a laptop, most people take a laptop with them. They go on vacation, go on business trips. It could be lost in the airport. You can be sitting, beside you, and somebody just carry it off, and you not realize it until they're down the road.
Turn around to pay your check or something, and it's gone.
Right.
Portability, good and bad.
Right.
Could be really good, portable if you're a thief. Okay, and what else you got with that?
And another con with the laptop is a higher risk of damage, and just from the sheer fact you're not carrying your desktop around everywhere.
Yeah.
You carry your laptop, you're not paying attention. Oops, you drop it. Well, you've either busted the screen, you've done some damage, or you dropped it in a puddle, and
and it's gone either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so pros and cons of each. So now it comes down to, let's throw a cost in the mix. If a person comes to you and says, well, I have a budget, and I'm looking at one way or the other, I'm not sure, but how does cost factor into that?
I'll be honest with you, Dave, a couple years ago, it was fluctuate between one or the other on what you wanted, but now the price is almost dead even on.
Is performance even as well with your cost? Like if I came to you and said I have, I don't even know what's reasonable for a computer versus PC, or versus laptop. If I said I have $500 to spend, which one would buy me the most performance?
Well,
if I was just looking for performance.
If just for performance for $500, it's pretty much dead even.
Still even?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
so,
where you see the price hike is on the higher end spectrum.
So if I had specific needs and wanted a big video card, lots of memory,
right, that's where we get
start talking.
Right.
Okay.
That's where we go the desktop route.
and so then that would lean towards the desktop to
start
going that way. Okay. And then if we're talking about adaptability, so I really don't know what I'm going to use it for. I'm not sure yet. I just know that I want a computer. Talk to me about adaptability versus for someone that may or may not do some photos, may do some videos, may want to travel but not sure. Which would you recommend?
Well, be honest with you, Dave, just from the market trends that I'm watching from customers that come to us, we're selling laptops more than we are desktops.
Yeah. And I can imagine it's pretty easy. And I know function-wise, that's next on my list to ask you about functioning. We talked about that a little bit earlier. There's really not a big of a difference. But function-wise, for a person to pull up the laptop, the screens are similar, I assume, for what you would get for a monitor. So what are you really losing by going with a laptop over the desktop, other than performance, of course?
With the laptop, a lot of people say, well, I want a laptop, but I don't like using the trackpad or the keyboard. Well, a couple years ago, you're stuck with it. Now they have wireless, so you can actually set your laptop down and use a wireless mouse and keyboard, so you still have the desktop functionality, but you have the portability of the laptop.
And I think that's a huge advantage, because I hate the laptop keyboards. They're smaller. It drives me crazy, and I hate the mouse for sure. But the ability to use it then just as a monitor with a CPU, and then have your own keyboard and mouse, wireless especially, that makes it super nice.
So, and what a lot of people are doing is they have the 15-inch screen, which is fine when they travel, but what they do is they take it home, and with the wireless mouse and keyboard, they hook it up to their TV, so now you're looking at
okay, yeah,
the size of the screen of the television.
And we talked about that with TVs, having the adaptability. I believe that was last week maybe, or the week before, talking about having a TV that has the connection port. Or
the video port
for that, so the Bluetooth, I guess, stuff. So you start looking at that, and then that changes the entire ballgame. Now you can sit on your couch with your laptop and look at your TV as your computer. All right, so you bring in a whole other ballgame of topics there. So the average person comes to you and says, okay, I want a new computer, but I'm not sure what steps specifically should they take before they get to you to kind of figure out which one they would need?
Well, the first two things I ask them is, what do you plan on using it for?
Okay, so have a list of stuff they're going to do. Stuff like photos, videos.
Are you going to save a lot of pictures? Are you going to play any games? Games is always the killer. Because here's what I find, somebody goes, well, I want the cheapest thing you got, so, here's System A. Well, they buy System A, they go to Walmart and buy the $60 game. One goes on there and it doesn't work. So then they're calling me back. It doesn't work. What's going on? Well, System A didn't have the hardware to cover that game. The
performance ability they want. Okay. So usage, what they're going to do specific to videos and games and higher level I hate to say higher level, but higher working programs,
Right.
I guess.
So pretty much, what are you going to guarantee that you use the system for? Now, don't get me wrong. There's laptops will play games, but don't expect a $300 system to play an $800 system game.
Right. And then, of course, probably your first question will be, do you plan on taking it with you anywhere?
Right.
Because you can't pack. You can pack up your home computer, but it's pretty hard.
Right.
So, do they have a traveling need? I guess.
And the second question I ask them is, what's your price range?
Yep.
What do you want to do with it, and what's your price range, are always the first two questions.
Okay.
And then one always throw in, what do you have currently? What are you comfortable with? Have you tried, one or the other? What would depend on what the situation is.
Sounds great. And that you're right. You cover a lot of bases with just those three questions. And that sounds like the average person can walk in and get narrowed down. What, in the ballpark price range, a decent laptop that you recommend or you sell a lot of, what kind of prices folks looking at? If they come to you and say, listen, I want to make the switch to a laptop, I want to travel a little bit with it, what kind of money am I throwing out there for an average system?
But don't get in.
Putting you on the spot.
Okay. Well, between $500 and $700 is what I tell everybody to get you a nice system to do just your everyday use. Not a high-end one way or the other, just your everyday use. Between $500 and $700.
That'll cover all your bases.
You might find some specials that are, the price goes either way.
Right.
But I always, one of my pet peeves is the Walmart, Black Friday specials, $200 laptop. Well, they have two.
Yeah, and or it's at such a low functioning level, you're stuck anyway.
Yeah, unless you're just using.
And that's the key. I think people come to you, they're looking to get performance value.
Right.
So that's fine. Okay, so we know that. And again, for the average person coming in, they need to know those three things. Anything else they need to know?
No, those three questions right there pretty much cover anything that. Everybody has additional questions, and that's the thing.
Particular needs. And,
don't hesitate to ask any questions, because the more information you give me, the easier it makes my job to pick out the best system for you. Because, as a salesman, I want to sell you a system, but I don't want to sell you something that you don't need.
Well, and let's talk about that real quick. As a salesman, now I almost see that as a trick question, because I think the difference between you as a technology guru versus the average cat that's probably at Walmart trying to sell this stuff.
Yeah.
The information knowledge is, you're here, they're going to be here, just part-time showing up selling stuff. So to address someone's needs, I think they need to factor that in as well. Talk to somebody that knows computers when you're buying a computer.
Well, and here's what I like to do. I like to go to electronic stores on the weekends and
I'm a
nerd. I do this, but I actually go to the stores and I test the sales reps. I go in there and act like I don't have any clue what I'm talking about,
I
test them to see what they know.
Yeah, and that's scary, because everybody goes into stores and they say, "Hey, I need help over here," and you get whoever just happens to be on duty.
Yeah,
whether they know anything or not. So you're kind of left to your own devices. So I think that's an important aspect of what we're talking about today, is what knowledge you bring to the table and how people can use that as a valuable resource.
Right.
Versus going into the big stores and getting whatever teenager's working that weekend.
Right. And if they're working on commission, you're getting the $1,200 system whether you need it or not.
Either way, so you kind of get stuck that way. Okay, so again, this week we're talking with Joe McDonald, owner of A&M Digital Technologies, with the Help Desk Show. We're talking about home PCs versus laptops and how to make that choice using good information, having the background you need to come to you and get the right choice.
And actually, this doesn't apply to just home users, business users as well. Yep. We run into the same issue with business as well.
That is a great point. I know, like with us at Patch, we utilize both the PCs and the laptops, the versatility that you need. So I think that's a really good point, what you can do to help businesses as well and kind of steer them in the right direction.
Right.
So if you're watching this show and you have any questions out there, this is how you get a hold of Joe. You
can give us a call at our offices at 304-927-3588 or visit our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com.
Yep, and I know I'm friends with you on Facebook, so I get all the specials. We were just talking about with our daycares, video cameras. You had those on special.
Yeah.
So we roll into these things. So again, check them out on Facebook. Joe McDonald or A&M Digital Technologies on Facebook as well, and see those daily specials. It's hard to tell what you'll run across, just stuff that you need. And,
we cover just a little bit of everything. If it's electronic and it plugs in, if we don't have it on the store, we can get it.
Yeah, and that's the key. And each week each day you see those daily specials that pop up, and that's pretty nice to see, because you see some stuff you didn't think you needed, and you're like, well, you know what? That kind of falls into what I'm doing next for my next project. So, all right, we're here this week. That's our show this week. The Help Desk with Joe McDonald, talking about home-based PC units and laptops and how to make the correct choice to get what you need. And again, thanks, Joe, for coming in with this week's topic. If you
Thank
have
you.
any questions, contact Joe. If he uses it on the show, you get free stuff.
Yeah.
So send those questions, Facebook, email, messaging, whatever you need to do. Get a hold of Joe and Cena and let us know. And we're in our second week of basketball, and you guys, A&M Digital Technology, sponsoring our basketball youth league, so it's going well.
We're excited with that.
Me too. Teaching kindergartners how to dribble. It's exciting stuff. But again, if you're out there buying technology stuff, take advantage of having Spencer's own business ran by two individuals that live here. A&M Digital Technologies, take care of all your technology needs at home as you guys support the community, and that's what we want to do here in Roane County, support our local businesses and entities and folks as well. So A&M Digital Technologies bringing you this show, and we'll see you next week with a new topic with Joe from the Help Desk with Joe.
Thank you.